Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling mysteries of the 20th century, the Russian sleep experiment. In the 1940s, Soviet researchers embarked on a study that would push the boundaries of human endurance and plunge into the depths of the human psyche. This experiment, cloaked in secrecy and controversy, has captured the imaginations of millions around the world. But what really happened behind closed doors? Join us as we unravel the enigma of the Russian sleep experiment, exploring the science, the myths, and the terrifying truths that lie at its core. So, buckle up and prepare for a journey into the unknown. This is the Russian sleep experiment, a tale that will leave you questioning the limits of human endurance and the darkness that lurks within us all. Let's dive in. The Russian sleep experiment. According to the scientists in the Soviet Union, once developed a stimulant that they thought would allow soldiers to go without sleep for up to 30 days. They decided to use 5 prisoners as test subjects for their new gas, promising them their release after the test. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. As the experiment commenced, the volunteers were subjected to an experimental gas stimulant designed to keep them awake for days on end. Sealed within a chamber deep within Facility K-14, they were cut off from the outside world, their only companions the watchful eyes of the researchers and the haunting whispers of their own minds. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on but no bedding, running water and toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. They started pumping the gas and after locking the 5 men inside a hermetically sealed space. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised, falsely, that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that lead them to where they were and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects, in captivity with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber, repeatedly yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared page after page with their own feces and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. After 3 more days passed. The researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it impossible that no sound could be coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. On the morning of the 14th, they announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn, one of you earn immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a calm voice respond in a single phrase, "We no longer want to be freed." They finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was opened and soldiers sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. All of them were severely mutilated, with their flesh torn off and abdomens ripped open. They also seemed to have eaten their own flesh. They refused to leave the chamber and fought back with a force and aggression they did not have before being put in the chamber. They were almost superhuman in their power and even tore off their muscles and bones during the struggle to resist being removed from the chamber and anesthetized. When they were asked why they had done that to themselves, each of them gave the same response: "I must remain awake." Even after being removed from the chamber, the surviving prisoners continued to show extreme strength, incredible resistance to drugs and sedatives, unimaginable ability to remain alive even after lethal injuries, and a desperate desire to remain awake and being given the stimulant gas again. The researchers also discovered that when any subject fell asleep, they instantly died. The digestive tract of all four could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out, another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives if you count ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. 2 of the subjects were dead, the surviving 3 were treated for their injuries and prepared to return to the gas chamber. However, within moments, the EEG monitors revealed that all the subjects were brain dead. Just before the chamber was sealed, another prisoner fell asleep and died, while the researcher shot another one dead. Before shooting the last surviving subject, the researcher asked what he was, to which he identified himself as the evil that resided in every human mind and kept in check by sleep. Soon after, the researcher shot him dead and went about covering up any trace of the experiment. We've delved into the chilling tale of the Russian sleep experiment. A true story that has captivated and terrified audiences for years. But like all good stories, it must come to an end. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe my channel.